where I think Seattle Public Schools does not go far enough. Again, elementary, middle schools, total ban, bell to bell. But with the high school age kids, it's only during class. You can still have the phones in the hallways, in between classes, and at lunch.
Right.
And to me, I feel like those are the times in high school, like I remember taking classes and I remember teachers, and that doesn't seem to me to be a very high bar to say you can't have your phones out in class. I assume that was already the case.
I would hope that was, me too. I would hope that's already the case.
We weren't allowed to wear hats in class when I was in high school.
We had to wear helmets. Special school.
Oh, you had to wear helmets.
Sorry. I'm kidding. That was a horribly tasteless joke.
No, it's not.
But this, and the fact, what the policy they've instituted starting Monday, Seattle Public Schools, I think it doesn't do, not just doesn't do nearly enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't give the teachers and the administrations the support they need to enforce this.
The teeth.
Right. The teeth to make it happen, make it real.
Yeah.
I don't think.
When I was in high school, we had a smoking shack for students on campus. Now, it was no longer in use.
A tiny village? No, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Go on.
So it was no longer in use. It was a relic of times past. Because I went to
it was from my era.
It was from your era. It was from the 1970s and 80s.
We had a smoking section at my high school.
You probably had a smoking section where students, in between classes, would go out and smoke cigarettes.
Yep.
Now, that shack was still on campus when we were there. It was no longer used to smoke. It was then just a place where kids would go and they would have, they could be social and, if it was raining or something, they could go and stand under there. But there was a no smoking sign that got put up on the smoking shack. And I do wonder if we're at this weird inflection point right now with cell phones where someday those no smoking signs, which I don't know if you even talk to kids these days, what their thoughts on smoking are. I don't do it. I'd never see people smoking anymore. I'm always kind of shocked when I do see people smoking because it's, boy, has it really gone away?
Sure, yeah, as it should.
As it should. It's very bad for your health. There's a lot of studies. I'm wondering if we're at that just before the realization on the cell phones. I feel like there's a lot of studies. There's a lot of people who have already done research into this.
Yeah.
And I think at a certain point we will look back and go like, you remember when we used to let kids walk around glued to their phones and not actually interacting with each other or growing their brains, but instead like staring at screens and having no social lives? As a cautionary remembrance relic of the past. Like we're living in that moment right now. And I think someday in the future, hopefully not too long from now, I mean, this is a hopeful future I'm talking about, where on school campuses they have said just no phones, just like the no smoking signs, no cell phone signs.
I think you're right about the harmful effects of phones.
Sure.
We put this transmitter right next to our brain.
And next to something else in our pocket.
Yeah, down in our pocket, right. Right.
Wait for that to come
around. The
around.
produce section.
Maybe that's what it's
always
gonna
saying
take.
Brady. And we don't know yet. We still don't know. There's not enough research, not enough body of evidence to let us know just how dangerous and harmful this can be. But my point is that these phones have become so ingrained in who we are as a species, our culture, our society, how we process information, how we get our jobs done, how we live day to day.
Sure.
The phones have become integral. They're almost a human organ.
100%. They're attached to people all the time.
But with regard to school campuses and how we keep, it used to be you could smoke on campus. Maybe, I hope you're so right. I love that insight. Maybe there'll be a day when, can you imagine, you believe there was a time we let kids bring those things to school?
That's what it feels like. As a parent, when I look at, so like we've talked about this many times, but we have made the decision for my sons. They're not going to have a phone until they're adults and they can make that decision for themselves. When I say adults, 18. If they want to get a phone at 18, I'm not going to stop them. I would have the same cautions with them if they decided to be cigarette smokers someday. I would say, hey, you know what? Boy, that's really bad for you. I'm not going to stop you because you're an adult and this is your life now, but they're really bad for you. And the same thing with cell phones.
Yeah.
And what I'm worried about, though, is there has to be a point at which that's a more widely accepted idea. And I really do feel like it is picking up steam and a lot more people are jumping on that bandwagon, being like, yeah, this is really awful, these stupid phones. We all know it and we feel it. Like when you go anywhere, like recently, okay, so here's a good example. Do you ever have times in your day where you will purposefully set your phone down, set it away, turn it into airplane mode?
Yes.
Yes.
Just, leave it in the other room.
And why do you
away.
choose to do that? Because I know why I do.
Because I have terrible self-control. And I can't stop myself from grabbing. It's second nature now. Fear of missing out is now second nature.
And it's addictive.
Yeah.
It's giving you that little dopamine pop every single time you pick it up. You touch the screen. Did I get an email? Did I get text messages? all that stuff. And how do you feel when you don't have it with you? Like after you've shaken off like the shakes,
yeah,
like
after withdrawals,
yes,
which last brief.
It's fast.
It's fast.
It's not as bad as cigarettes, but it's still a thing.
It's funny you say that because we have family in town, as we often do. But I'm spending time and communicating with them, and to sit there with family that don't live here, that made the trip to Seattle, that live thousands of miles away. To sit there next to them on my phone seems like the biggest insult. I can't, and I caught myself doing it. So I made sure I put my phone away.
You had your phone on. You were looking at your phone while they were in the room.
Yeah, and as were they. And I went and put my phone away and started engaging. And now it's been about a week. I hope to do this more often.
Sure.
I want to engage with people. I want to engage with my family. It's not just because there's family in town. When we have dinner,
your wife and kids.
No one's holding their phone at the table.
Yeah.
Nobody. That seems like the least. I mean, I cook at my house. I cook. I do all the cooking.
Yep.
I spend all this time shopping, cooking, preparing, serving. Boom. The last thing I want to do is look up and see you looking at your phone.
100%.
I mean, I ask for so little of my kids, my spouse, my in-laws, whatever it may be.
Have you watched that show on Paramount Plus yet called The Madison? It's with Michelle Pfeiffer, who looks fantastic. By the way.
It's one of the. I don't
know how old she is, but she's aging very well.
It's one of what's his name.
Taylor Sheridan.
Yes, it's Taylor Sheridan. I've seen trailers for it.
So in the opening episode, I'm not going to spoil the show, but in the opening episode, she's having dinner in New York with her 2 daughters and then their kids and husbands, and they're all sitting at the table. Michelle Pfeiffer's kind of drinking a glass of wine, watching her family because she's of a different generation. Obviously, she's watching her kids and grandkids all stare at their phones as they're sitting in this restaurant. She's just kind of eyeing them angrily, and finally she just goes. Slaps the table. Yeah. She goes, "It's rude. You're being rude." And they're like, "Rude to who?" She goes, "You're being rude to me. You're being rude to the staff. You're being rude to everyone. You're staring at your phones." And then she gets up, goes to the bathroom, and she's like, "Quit it." And Taylor Sheridan's really good at communicating like very zeitgeisty, real feeling ideas that people are having.
And bringing those into theatrical or structured conversations that we can relate to our lives. Yeah.
There's this idea, just like you were talking about with your family in town. There's this idea about, I heard this the other day, and maybe we already talked about it, but when you're in the room with somebody, there's a silver cord idea, this like silver thread that connects you to somebody else. And the second you pick up your phone, you sever that thread, and it's gone.
Well, it's eye contact.
And you've wasted the opportunity to have a real connection with that person.
Yep.
And now what I'm seeing, like, it's good the Seattle Public Schools have done this, but they need to do it also because those are the times you're making those memories. All of my memories in high school are on the baseball field. I played baseball.
No, I go. I love where you're going.
All my memories in high school are happening between classes.
Yeah,
all
totally.
of them.
That's what socialization skills are. That's what they give you. That's where you develop them.
That's where
in
you're
the hallways,
seeing that
at the
girl from a
lunchroom.
distance, and you're thinking like, how do I get up close to her and say hi?
You text her.
Well,
I know.
These are vital things, though, that people are losing the ability to do. And all of my great memories of high school have nothing to do. And I thank God that we didn't grow up in an era with phones. And I'm thinking, like, down the road, when my oldest son is 11, he's going to be in high school in 5 years.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like when he's trying to have conversations with all his friends and they're all staring at their phones?
I'm with you. Is it an impossible wish for me, for my kids, to grow up in an era that I grew up in where this phone was not a distraction, it's an ingrained distraction that's impossible to escape.
We can't turn back time, obviously.
Right. So, when I say you guys need to, is it impossible to ask high schoolers not to be on their phones from literally bell to bell?
No, not at all. 28 other states have done it. Washington State does not do it. And so it's just simply a matter of doing it. Perfect real world example of not just kids needing these hard rules. Adults, the Masters, which they just had, the Masters at Augusta.
Right.
If you go back and look at any of the video, you watched it, I watched it, phenomenal. What do you notice in the background? Not a single spectator had their phone out. And you want to know why? Because the Masters said you can't have any screens, you can't have any iWatches, you can't have any tablets, you can't have anything on the course. And if you do, we're going to tap you on the shoulder and invite you to leave. Now, these are very, very hard tickets to get. So the people who are there, they really want to be there. And the last thing they want to do is break those rules. And so the master said, we're going to just say no cell phones. So these people were forced to be there and have a present moment, which is what it feels like when you don't have these stupid phones out. Like you and I are having a great conversation right now.
Look it in your eyes.
If one of us pulled a phone out, whoosh, gone. And the masters, they did this. They said, you can't have phones because we want to have they called it a throwback environment to what it used to feel like to be somewhere and to watch something. You can tell that story. You can see Scotty Scheffler hit a ball. You can see whoever hit a ball, and you're going to tell your kids about it. You may not have it on your phone,
right?
Which is the
you
instant
may not record it.
Yeah, you're going to record it.
Don't live life, record life, so you can live it later.
You can enjoy it on the cloud later
through a phone screen instead of being standing there next to a tee box.
Which is what they say these days that most young people are doing. They say they're doing delayed gratification. They're not enjoying the moment now. They're saving the moment to watch later. When you're laying on the couch at night under the blue glow of that screen, having no personal connections and just staring at these things, and it's just. I think they can do more, and I think you can ban it for high schoolers because we can still tell them what to do. They're still kids.
The story we're quoting today is there's a nice write-up in the Times, the Seattle Times today. They quote a teacher in the article, and they didn't name her. Maybe they did, but she's also she's an educator and a parent of a Seattle Public School student.
Yeah,
and she cited a study, and she didn't name the study, but she cited a study. Someone tried to look for it. Says on average, it's been researched that it takes a young mind 20 minutes to refocus after using a screen.
Oh.
So if you're talking about a 5-minute break between periods when kids are allowed to use their phones, then you get in the classroom, and this is a teacher citing this concern. So you're telling me that for the next 15 minutes, I got to let these little brains resettle and unscramble? And I've already the shortened window of my class time.
Yeah.
I'm losing 15 minutes of it because the average, and this is a study that says it takes 20 minutes after a screen. I believe that. I have no problem believing that.
Try falling asleep while looking at your phone. It's nearly impossible because your brain is just scrambling, doing all that stuff.
And that's why there's so many products now with the blue screens and the blue lenses on glasses or whatever.
You gotta wear like Tony Stark glasses.
Right, and good advice is to stop, 45 minutes or longer before you want to sleep to give your brain a chance to, hey, guys, it's time. Your body has eons of evolutionary guidelines to say, it's not time to sleep yet. It's not time to sleep. It's not time to sleep. And when you put a screen in front of your eyes, you're telling your brain to be active, be excited, be
awake,
problem solve.
Yeah.
All the things that your brain is.
Be distracted. It's just being distracted. So I think that study's right on. And more evidence. You have more evidence. Just like the no smoking, no cell phones.
So the schools, the Seattle Public Schools superintendent says that the reason they didn't use this for the high school students and limit it only to elementary and middle schools is because so many schools have open campuses. And you really can't. You can't tell kids they can't have a phone from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon or whatever the time constraints are because they got open campuses and they can leave school, and they will leave school if it's the only chance they have to use their phone, and there's safety concerns, and there's clubs that meet at school, and there's all these different reasons, all rationales.
If you're on campus, there's no reason why you can't have that phone put away. Well, I don't see the
That's the other thing. And maybe there's more information that wasn't in this initial announcement. Do teachers have supplies? Do they have like a lockbox? Do they have those sleeves that some school districts have sleeves that are transmission proof that you put your phone in at the beginning of the day?
Do what they do with the masters. You see a kid on their phone, you tap them on the shoulder, that phone's gone, you can have it after school.
There you go.
I mean, it seems that simple.
And these new guidelines have exemptions for medical exemptions, but smartwatches aren't covered in this.
Yeah, they should also cover that. Yeah.
What kid's not going to have an Apple Watch by September?
100%. 100%.